Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going over my MLB Prize Picks plays for Monday. We have 9 games tonight, starting at 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get into it. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it with the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And check out all the other links that I have to offer down below in the description. The website, Twitter, Prize Picks code is processed if you have not signed up yet. Yesterday, went 3-1 on the picks from the video. Hit the over strikeouts on Brady Singer, over strikeouts on Tyler Mahle, over fantasy on Dylan Cease. Only one that missed was Ryan Feltner, who just didn't have his stuff with him. He would give a couple runs in the first, gave up some more, I believe, in the second. Finished with just 2 strikeouts and I believe 4 innings. See if we can try to get at least, I might have 5 picks today, but see if we can try to get at least 4 of them to hit, if not do a complete sweep. Don't have a ton of top end pitchers here. We have a couple guys. We also have a Coors game, so we have a couple of low strikeout props in that one, which you could take advantage of, but it always is risky. I'm going to go with the first guy. Is a pitcher that has been struggling recently. He has not come through the last couple of starts, but I think it's just such a good matchup for him and it's such a good spot to take advantage of. Taking the over 6.5 strikeouts for him, going up against the Angels here. If we look at the matchup, the Angels are second most strikeout heavy team in baseball, just 0.01 strikeouts behind the Braves. Looking at the lineup for the Angels, they have a lot of righties, some switch hitters in there as well, some lefties. Their better hitters are definitely right-handed. But just looking at this lineup, you have everybody is over a 20% strikeout rate, especially guys at the top and bottom of the order. The bottom of the order has got 3 guys above a 30% strikeout rate, which you just don't see very often. And then Trout's striking out a lot this year at 29%. Ohtani's at 27, Walsh 27. I mean, there's just not really anybody that he can't strike out in this lineup. Looking at righties and lefties, he's done a good job. Even the lefties that are in this lineup, he has a 30% strikeout rate. Look at just this season, still a 27% strikeout rate for Giolito. He's gotten into some trouble against right-handers. This year he's striking out lefties an absolute ton, and you should get 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 lefties. And then the righties are the ones that he has to worry about for damage, so maybe it gives up a couple of runs, but I still think he'll be able to get some strikeouts against the Angels with just how often they do. He has a nice fastball, slider, occasional changeup that he throws in there. You can look and mix and put in those pitch types and see how these batters fare against them. But so looking at the strikeout matchups and the strikeout numbers, I think Giolito, it's a perfect spot for him to get back on track this season. Second strikeout prop is going to be Martin Perez, over 4.5 strikeouts. He's going up against the Kansas City Royals. Perez has done a very good job this season of hitting his over strikeouts. He's been one of the most consistent pitchers this season. If you look at the matchup here on Plate IQ, we can see that, just looking at this year, 20% strikeout rate, only a 5% walk rate. They have a couple guys that don't strike out too heavy on this team. Merrifield, Benintendi, Santana's one. Melendez is another one. But you still have a couple guys over 20%. And you have some lefties that he'll face off against. Benintendi, lefty-lefty matchup. Melendez, lefty-lefty. Look at the numbers for him. He's done a better job of striking out righties, and he should get a lot of righties that he's going to be facing. And even the lefties that he has done an okay job, 16.9%. Look back at 2020, 2021. So he's done a strikeout rate about 2% higher this year than it was last season for Martin Perez, and still similar numbers, 20% K rate to righties, 16.4% to lefties. So I do think that we can count on 5 strikeouts from Martin Perez today. Looking at his stats on Prop.Stat.Cash, we can see that he's just been a different pitcher this year in terms of his consistency. His strikeouts, he has at least 4 strikeouts in every start, except for the first start of the season where he only had 2 against Rockies, which did not throw as many pitches as he will. He only threw 68 and 67 in his first 2 starts. Recently, we've seen him get well over 90. He's gone over 100 a couple times, so can't really put too much stock into that 2-strikeout game on his first start of the season. Otherwise, he's been right at this number, if not over this number in all the starts. He's a couple games with 7 strikeouts. Earlier this season did have 6 Ks against the same Royals team, so even though the line is juiced to the under, it's still one that I'm going to take the over on. It's not always right. We saw yesterday Feltner was juiced to the over. He didn't come through. Just my gut feeling tells me Perez can get us at least 5 strikeouts today. So I'll go with that one. Another strikeout prop is going to be Pablo Lopez over 5 Ks. Lopez has been having a great season for the Marlins this year. It's been overshadowed a little bit just by the absolute dominance of Alcantara, but Pablo Lopez, 26% strikeout rate going back to last season as well. If we look at just this season stuff from him, 25% strikeout rate, pretty low xFIP. He's going up against a pretty righty-heavy lineup for the Cardinals. Looks like probably have at least 5 righties, 4 lefties, 3, and a couple switch hitters. But looking at the strikeout stuff, he has a 30% K rate against righties, so should have some opportunity to strike out guys like Goldschmidt. Maybe he can get one on Arenado. He doesn't strike out too much. But the lefties do strike out a little bit more with Gorman's at 30%. Bottom of the order, couple of righties. The catcher strikes out over 20%. So Pablo Lopez does mix in a lot of pitches. He has 5 different pitches that he can throw in there. Most of the time he's going to be looking at the fastball changeup. If his changeup if his changeup continues to be as good as it has been this season, should have some success. Not a lot of great numbers for this Cardinals team against that pitch, except for Arenado and Gorman. You got some very low numbers on Carlson, Bader, and Tommy Edman on that pitch. Looking at his game logs on DraftKings, we can see that he's done a great job at home and on the road. He was absolutely dominant against the Cardinals earlier this season with a 7-inning, 9-strikeout game against them. Recently, we've seen him occasionally top 100 pitches if he's pitching really well. He did that against Colorado. Went 110 pitches against the Giants. So he definitely has that ability to go very deep into games. Was getting hit hard against the Mets, only threw 84 pitches. And then against Houston, was also working up a high pitch count in just 4 innings through 78 pitches. Didn't last too long in that one. But in terms of strikeouts, got 6, 5, 5, 6, 5, 8. So he's gotten at least a push or over in his last 6 starts. And he's had 11 strikeout game earlier this season, 7, 9. He's been hitting this a lot more often than not. So going with the over strikeouts on Pablo Lopez, worst case might be a push, in my opinion. Those are my 3 favorite strikeout props today. I think McKenzie's one that you can also consider taking the over on, but the Twins haven't really struck out a lot the last couple of days. Looking at the fantasy score, got a couple that look pretty solid that we can definitely consider. Like, I think you can go with Pablo Lopez or Perez if you're not feeling their strikeouts. Take their over a fantasy. You got a very low number on like Chad Cole, although it is in course. I'm taking the over fantasy on George Kirby here. He's at 34.5. He's done a good job of getting strikeouts. Looking at his game logs, I can see that he's okay. Most of the time, he's going to get you at least 6 innings. I do love the opportunities for the Mariners to get the win here. So that could be a nice boost for his fantasy. He's right around a strikeout per inning this season. He has 47 and 49. He pitched a gem against the Orioles earlier this year, going 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs. And although the Orioles coming off of a good series against the White Sox, now they're going cross-country into Seattle after just playing yesterday. Maybe a little bit of time difference there as well. Might mess them up a little bit. But I do like the over fantasy on George Kirby. You can consider his strikeouts as well. But with the Mariners having a pretty high total going up, the Orioles don't have a great pitching staff as well. The fact that he's most of the time will get you that quality start, 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less, plus a decent chance of getting the win with the strikeout upside that he gives you. That is the 4th prop I'll throw in here. The last prop I was considering was taking the over fantasy on Montgomery as well, which is fine if you want to do that. Not the best strikeout pitcher. Sometimes he won't go over 90 pitches. And the A's have actually been decent against lefties on the road this year, so I might just fade that because Blackburn also has a sub-3 ERA. But that would be the 5th prop if you wanted to throw one in there. Otherwise, you can play these 4, mix and match them, play some in flex, some in power play, do 2 and 2 if you want to do that. But that's what I got for you guys today. Over strikeouts, 6.5 on Giolito, over 4.5 Ks. Martin Perez, over 5 strikeouts. Pablo Lopez, and over 34.5 fantasy for George Kirby. Best of luck today, and I will see you all next time.